In this video, we're going to do something a little different. I want to share with you the 7 secrets my most successful dropshipping students do that others don't. And the reason I wanted to make this video is I've had the opportunity now to be working with my students for an extended period of time. I have well over 100 students that have bought my paid program for me. And because of that, I've been able to observe and see what is it that the successful people, the ones that are crushing it, that are making money hand over fist, month after month, that get started in this business, have never dropshipped an item before in their life, aren't that good with technology, yet in a very short period of time start killing it in this business. What is it that those select few, what is it that those people do that the other students that continue to struggle and don't have success, what separates them? And after analyzing and breaking it down and studying it, I realized that there's 7 secrets, there's 7 keys, there's 7 principles that the students that are massively successful do that the other students don't. And in this video, what I'd like to do is share what those 7 secrets are in the hopes that maybe you can use these secrets and apply them to your life to hopefully, have success in your dropshipping business. So let's dive into it. So the first thing they do is they do what Miss Kim Kiyosaki did. And I brought her up in another example because it's a very great example. So Kim Kiyosaki, Robert Kiyosaki's wife, talks about that she now owns like a bunch of, I think like thousands of apartment complexes. And her husband does too, and they make a bunch of money. I mean a bunch of money. But when Kim Kiyosaki got started, she bought one little home. And she rented out that home for $25 a month. And she was making $25 a month residually from her rental property. Every month, 25 bucks. And she was working and learning all these lessons. And she wasn't making a lot of money. And maybe she had some friends that were saying, hey, listen, you're doing all this stuff and you know, you're working so hard, you're only making 25 bucks. I think you're wasting your time on this. I mean, I don't know if she had friends that were saying that, but in a situation like that, people might have friends that might say stuff like that. Well, now she's in a position where she's got thousands of apartment complexes and make lots of money in residual income, of course, and her husband does too. Why? Because she did secret number 1, she had long-term thinking. You have to have long-term thinking in this business. The number 1 problem that I see with entrepreneurs in the make money online space is they got ADHD and they jump around from thing to thing to thing. Every few months they're trying this, then they're trying this, they're trying this. They're a jack of all trades, they're a master of none, because in order to master something you have to put in your 10,000 hours, and you can't do that in a few month time frame. So the number 1 thing, or secret number 1, is long-term thinking. Be in this for the long haul. When you do this, make a commitment that you're not going to do this just for a few weeks, that you're going to commit to this for a good year plus. Yeah, you heard me, a year plus. Master it so you can be one of the top people in your field, which allows you to make great money when you're one of the top people in your field. Number 2 is study, learn, and grow. The second thing that my most successful students do is they're consistently studying, learning, and growing. They're going through training, they're getting better information. I'm not here to indirectly pitch you my program. If you want to learn about my program, there's a link below. If I was here to pitch you about it, I'd pitch you about it. I'm not here to do that. I have lots of free training on this YouTube channel that you can obviously go through for free. It's very detailed. There's like 50 videos now. It's great. It's 100% for free. Check out the free stuff, okay? But either way, you have to be learning, growing, and improving your skill set. You have to be leveling up because you can't make $100,000 a year with a $10 an hour skill set. You have to get better information so you can take better actions so you can get better results. Number 3, they take massive action. Once they learn the new information, the better information, they take massive action on that information. Some people either get stuck on one or 2 of these things. Some people spend too much time learning and they don't apply enough, or they spend too much time applying, but they're not taking as effective action as they could be. We want to be doing a combination of both. We want to be learning and getting better information, But then we want to use that information so then we can take better actions. And it's kind of a combination of taking massive action while we continuously learn and grow. Hard work is not enough. There's lots of people out there that work hard but struggle. In fact, there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that work really hard, but they struggle to make any money, mainly because they fall victim to number one, which is they don't have long-term thinking, and they jump around from thing to thing every few months. Number 4, take care of your customers. You got to take care of your customers. Your customers are the ones that can leave you feedback, which is good for your store. They're also the ones that can call their credit card company and report the item as fraud, which generally most people don't do, but you got to take care of your customers to try to prevent stuff like that. So if there's a problem, you want to fix it. An example is I had a student of mine, and he asked, hey, this item is out of the, we give customers, we say we can give you 30 days to return the item. The customer wanted to return the item, and it was like 45 days after they bought the item, so technically it fell out of the return window. I said, contact the dropshipping company. If the dropshipping company will take the return, which they should because the ones we have generally have a long return window, if they'll take the return, I would do the return for the customer. Yes, I know you're not going to make money on it, but you're taking care of the customer. We do want to take care of these customers. They will understand it. They will appreciate it. I did not know this in the beginning when I got started in business, but the customers are the ones that have the money, and I do my best to take care of the customers while, I'm not sacrificing my profit or anything, but if a customer, if they need help trying to figure out how to put an item together, I might spend a minute or two to try to find a YouTube video on it to send to them, or a PDF somewhere of it. Usually it's pretty easy to find. I might have my VA contact the dropshipping company, see if they can get a manual that they could send the customer. I will do my best to take care of the customers. Number 5, we want to be listing many items. Many items on our store. 2 years ago when people started dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace, there was not a lot of people doing it as there are now, so you could get away with just listing a handful of items and that was fine. There was also a lot of other things you could get away with that you can't get away with now, which is why you see people that had successful businesses 1 or 2 years ago that their business has actually gone down over time. We want to be listing many items. In January of 2022, I was looking at my automation clients. And the automation client of mine that made the most money out of all my automation clients, the one thing I noticed about his store is he had more items listed than my other clients. He had 2,700 items listed in his store. 2,700 items listed in his store. Now, at that time, he'd been working with me for about 8 months, and I had at any point in time, 1 or 2 full-time VAs in the store listing 10 to 20 items every single day. So if you're just getting started, don't get overwhelmed by that. You don't have to list 2,700 items right away, but it should be a thing where it's like pretty much every day you're making sure that 5, 10, 15, 20 of the right items get listed in your store the right way, and you do that over a period of time. It has a compounding effect. It has a synergetic effect. I've talked about before how sometimes, and you might do this as well, but I don't know, I'll sometimes go on Amazon and sometimes I'll buy items right away, but there's sometimes I'll add an item to my cart or I'll add it to my saved items on Amazon. Sometimes I'll buy it a couple weeks later. Sometimes I'll buy it 4, 5, 6 months later. Well, just like people do that on Amazon, people will do that with items in your store. But you need to be listing enough items in your store. And I have long-term thinking. You're staying with this, just make a commitment. You're going to dive into this for a year. If you do it, crazy things will happen, especially because so few people have such a long attention span. It's so easy to be great nowadays. Like if you can just make a decision to stick with this for like a year, it's unbelievable because so few people are willing to do it. Your skill set will be so high. You'll know so much more than everyone else. I'm not saying you'll be one of the top players on Facebook Marketplace, but it wouldn't surprise me if you were. I'll just put it like that. So, but we need to be listing many items. The next thing it goes is being consistent, which kind of I've covered a little bit, but you got to be consistent. It's continuing to list items. It's making sure items get listed. What's great about dropshipping is you don't have to do it. You can hire a virtual assistant to do it for you. Like I haven't listed items in my store in, in 8 months or something like that, but items continue to get listed, but you got to be consistent. You're building it up. Just like Kim Kiyosaki, she was consistent. She got one place, and I don't know what it was. Maybe 6 months or later, she got another place. But over time, it had a massive compounding effect. You have to be consistent in your store. And then the seventh thing is you have to treat it like an actual business. Imagine that you were going to start a restaurant. Would you agree with me if you were going to start a restaurant? It's probably going to be a full-time thing. You might be in that sucker, 70 hours a week, right? You're probably not going to start your own restaurant from scratch and think you're going to work at 10 hours a week. No, you're going to be grinding it you're going to be grinding it out. That's what you're going to be doing. So many people get into the space and the business will not reward you till you reward the business. Once you give yourself fully to the business, that's when the business will give itself fully to you. You have to treat it like an actual business. So when I tell people about this, yes, you can get to the point where it's almost all automated. Yes, you can make residual income. I work about 10 minutes a week now in my business because I did it myself. I learned all the skills. I went through the fire, as they call it. I put in my time. I hired a virtual assistant. I trained them. Your virtual assistant will only be as good as you. Let me rephrase that. You can only train your virtual assistant up to the level you're at, so you have to level up and become a high level first, and then you can train your virtual assistant to be that high level. Then they'll slowly but surely get very good at all the processes of the store, and then they can run it. So yes, it can be automated. Yes, it can grow on its own. Yes, it can be passive income. But in the beginning, don't count on it to be that way. Put in the work. Grind it out. Make the sacrifice. Make the investment. And if you do that and you stay with it and you follow all these 7 secrets that my top successful dropshipping students have done, and you do this and you commit for a year, I think you will be pleasantly surprised with where your income is, how easy the business has gotten, and even how automated it can get. My name is Aaron Goldsten. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.